Hi, my name is Antoinette Tansley, and I'm with Canada Ski Cross. I compete with my team at the World Cup level and hope to be competing with them soon at the Olympic level. So ski cross is a sport that I found, as most people do, through the sport of Alpine. I absolutely fell in love with the speed events in Alpine of downhill and super G. And when I was around 18 years old, my coach, Rob Boyd, who is a former Canadian Olympian and World Cup winner, asked me what I thought about ski cross. And I wasn't really sure. So I went out and I tried it and absolutely fell in love with it. I grew up with 3 siblings. So doing a sport where you're head to head against other people did not scare me in the least. And ski cross is a fantastic sport. It is pretty fast speed. You compete against 3 other competitors on the course. And the course is built similar to sort of a BMX style where all the athletes come out of the gate at the same time. And then there's terrain features and big banked turns and lots of jumps. So a lot of air time and a lot of high speed action. Yeah, so like I said, skiing for Team Canada is an honor because our team has so much depth. We have a fantastic crew of women. We've got a legacy of gold medals and gold and silver medals as well. And, it's really fun to get out there every day that we're on snow with our team and race against those girls because on any given day, someone might be leading and someone might be challenging them. And I think it's really fantastic. It contributes to an awesome training environment where your competition are your teammates, but at the end of the day, you all come home and they're also your family and your best friends. So it's fun that my greatest competition is my own team, but that they're also my family. So I really look up to them. And I think that we all really support each other. That's a really good question. I've definitely had to ask myself that question a few times this year, with COVID and with coming back from a second knee injury. This is not the first time I've blown my knee. I did my right knee in 2018, actually, in January. So it's been a tough road, but I think I just keep coming back to the fact that I love this sport. I'm super, super passionate about it. My favorite thing is every time I get to go out and learn a new track and ski it for the first time, and it just makes you feel alive. So for me, it's not, I wouldn't even say that it's the drive to compete. It's almost more of like the fact that I can come out and challenge myself every day. And, you asked who my biggest competitor is, and it's my teammates, but it's really just myself. So I think there's a big internal drive there to just come out and challenge myself every day to see what I can bring to the table. Honestly, like I said, my teammates are some of the best in the world. And again, it's one of those teams where it's so deep and there's deep in terms of just like quality of skiers that I'm really just excited to see everyone start off this season in the World Cup and kind of see where we get to in terms of who's qualifying. And then I just cannot wait to see how that turns out because, it's a lot of pressure. We've got a pretty big women's legacy on this team, but I know that anyone who qualifies from Canada could be standing on the top of that podium. And so it's a little bit like Christmas. Like you start watching the race and you just don't know. You don't know. We've got a lot of girls coming back from injury, Marielle Thompson, India Charette, and Courtney Hoffus as well. But I've been in the gym with them and, they're the strongest they could possibly be right now. And I think they're going to bring the heat. So I think if I had to choose someone in particular, I'm most excited to see India compete because, she went to the last Olympics and she was pretty young, and this time around, I think she'll be bringing something pretty special. So. I would say I'm also a big academic. I'll be graduating this semester from the University of Calgary. I'm a huge international relations nerd. I'm a huge science nerd. And I love curiosity. And I think that's also why I love this sport, because every time we go to a new track, you learn a new feature, which would be like a new terrain element. Or even if it's the same track, you learn how to ski it in a different way if there's, wind. So I would say something that people who don't know me really well might not know about me is that I am a very, very big nerd. So. I think during the last Olympics, there's a lot of conversation around mental health. And I just want to say that I think that has catapulted a conversation that has really spread quickly, and that's already impacting the way that NSOs talk to their athletes. And if there's one thing that I think would be kind of something I'm excited to see, would be, hopefully from a positive standpoint, that conversation kind of continue, because as athletes shared both their successes and their struggles in the last Olympics, with that in particular, I think for young athletes out there, it's really changing lives. So I think one kind of extra thing that I'm a little bit excited to see would just see that conversation continue, and see, the generation that's growing up and watching these athletes and idealizing them start to get the chance to kind of see that other side of the sport. So. Oh, I would say she's actually a rugby player. Ruby, I think her last name is Twee, is how you say it properly. She's from New Zealand, and I just think her energy, what she stands for, if you watch any interview with her, she's just incredibly funny, but really passionate and just so supportive of her teammates as well and her sport. So definitely her. Skiing of any kind. So there's this really short song that is the first song on Alicia Keys' first album, and it's called Piano and I, and recently it's been my hype song because it kind of has this building energy, and at one point she says, maybe it took me 2 years, but I'm a little more ready for the world. And that has been what has been getting me out of bed these days. So that would be it. And it's like a minute and a half. I think this is going to be a pretty incredible year. I wouldn't be surprised if we top anything we've ever done before. So I'm just going to say record-breaking. I am a huge fan of anything that's a little bit crunchy. So whether it's crackers and cheese or, carrots and hummus, anything that I can crunch is important, because I get a little bit stressed watching anyone from Team Canada compete. And I think that just helps me kind of settle into what I'm watching. I think it has been an incredibly difficult last 2 years, and I think the pressure is on. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty in this time, especially coming, through COVID and all of the visa requirements, and, traveling in this time is really hard. And I just want to remind all Team Canada athletes that at the end of the day, you're here to do a sport that you love. And remember to have fun, and know that win or not win, because it's not a lose, we'll be right behind you. So have fun.